Hey y'all, my name is Caroline Nakant and I am our Director of Philanthropy. We are so excited to have y'all back at TriDelta to learn about a place that is very special to us, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. As a chapter, fundraising for St. Jude is one of our favorite things to do, and we are always looking for new and exciting ways to raise awareness about our philanthropy. For example, this year we hosted an online fundraiser called 15K in a Day for the very first time. While our goal was to raise $15K in 24 hours, we were all left speechless when by the end of the day we had raised $75,810. Due to the major success of this event, as well as others, LSU TriDelta was ranked as the #1 fundraising chapter in the nation this year. Around this time last year, I cried happy tears with a St. Jude patient as she told me how St. Jude saved her life. She continually thanked me for all that TriDelta has done, not only in her life, but in the lives of countless others. I will never forget the biggest smile she had on her face as we talked about all of the TriDelta symbols throughout the hospital, as well as the TriDelta Place. The TriDelta Place provides the only on-campus housing for patients and their families while being treated at St. Jude. I, along with several other members, have had the privilege of visiting the TriDelta Place during our annual St. Jude trip in Memphis each December. The St. Jude trip is an exciting way to experience the daily life at the hospital, as well as a fun road trip with friends. I would now like to turn your attention to one of my chairmen, Brooke Hadel.
Hey everyone, I'm Brooke. I'm a junior here at TriDelta. Growing up, I had heard and always admired the selfless mission of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. However, when I got to high school, I became personally involved with St. Jude, and with this, my passion really sparked. It all began at my very first UCA cheerleading camp, where we addressed letters to our friends and family members in hopes to raise funds for the hospital. As the cheer season went on, we planned a football game and a pep rally dedicated to the hospital in order to get our community excited and aware of everything going on back in Memphis. Each of these events began my love for this organization, but something inside me truly changed when I had the honor and privilege of visiting the hospital myself. During the tour, we stopped at the main kitchen of the hospital, and they told us a story that I think perfectly describes the overall caring attitude of the employees and how they go above and beyond for their patients. There was one patient going through treatment that was refusing to eat. His mother would constantly ask him what he wanted, and at this point would settle for him to eat just about anything. Finally, the boy said he wanted his grandmother's mac and cheese. His mom was so relieved and ran down to the kitchen to get his special request, but when she brought it back up to him, he refused to eat it because it wasn't his grandmother's exact recipe. His mom was so stressed out and ran back to the kitchen to tell the chef what had happened, and without hesitation, he told her to call the grandmother. Later that day, St. Jude not only had the exact recipes sent to the kitchen to make for the boy, but they also had the same pots and pans his grandmother used to make it delivered as well. Long story short, the boy was ecstatic to eat it, and it is still the same mac and cheese recipes served throughout the hospital today. One of my favorite experiences from my trip, though, was meeting and playing with some of the patients. We decorated cookies and even had the opportunity to perform a pep rally with these children and their families. These kids were so happy and grateful, and I realized in that moment that I would never forget this place and all of those that I had met along the way. St. Jude will hold a very special place in my heart, and I hope sharing my personal experience will stick with you. Another patient close to ours here is Anna James, and now we're going to hear her story.
They just told us right away that we're gonna house you, we're gonna feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
She had a high fever for about 9 days, and she was, very dehydrated. And they checked some of her counts. Her counts looked really, really low.
We did, at the time, don't know what counts are. We were still normal parents going to the pediatrician, just pricking her finger.
They told us that your daughter doesn't have cancer, like it's just a fever virus that apparently is attacking her bone marrow.
We went home
and just focused on the new baby we had coming,
right.
But I think we knew something was wrong.
Your daughter has leukemia. You need to fly to St. Jude in Memphis tomorrow morning. They kept telling us how wonderful St. Jude was in Memphis. You'll be amazed. You'll be so happy you'll be treated there. And at the time, we kept hoping this, we don't want cancer. We don't want any of that, so we don't really care. When you walk in the building and you see the murals on the wall and you see all the colors, it doesn't feel like a hospital. We had a joke the first week we were here that we had not seen anyone who worked at St. Jude that was unhappy. It was like anyone you come across, everyone was happy all the time. We were like, what is this place? Anna James thinks it's a vacation to come here. We say we're going to St. Jude Hospital. They get excited. I mean, this is fun.
And when we don't bring one of them, it's devastating. I mean, how could you not bring me to St. Jude Hospital?
Today is our last dose of IV chemo after 2.5 years.
Have the cutest smileys.
It's a very big day. End of treatment, finished with the protocol. She's done.
Love to see you every day, but now's the time we get to say, pack up your bags, get out the door, you don't get chemo anymore.
Our team has been reassuring us from the beginning that her chances of relapse are pretty low. We shouldn't be that worried about it, but you just can't help but have that fear. All the children have lost their battles. I think about them every day. I mean, by name, the ones we've met that didn't make it. And you just can't help but keep it with you.
Well, and there'll be a time when she'll come home late, when she's 16, and we'll catch her sneaking in. And we'll say something, like, I just can't believe with everything we did for you.
I did for you.
How could you do this to me and your mother?
She's in for a lot of that, I think. Poor child.
I know, it's going to be her whole life.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say,